April 15th, my next guest gave the world what many have called the best 8 minutes of boxing ever. He is the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Please welcome Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Growing up in Boston, we are probably some of the most hardcore sports fans in the world. And Marvin Hagler was kind of the epitome of Boston strong and Boston tough. He trained with the Petronelli brothers at a gym in Brockton, Massachusetts. He was a living legend and a guy who put Boston on the map.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler, 61 victory. Wings two over the top just for good measure, and he's got him hurt. He's got him hurt. McGovey finally goes down. And of the 11th round, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
As I was growing up in Boston, he became world champion when I was 7 years old. It's one of the very first sports memories I have in my life. I grew up with like Larry Bird Celtics.
Bird has 60 points.
The Red Sox, who had their infamous World Series in 1986. Hagler was right up there. When he fought, it was as big as, a Super Bowl or a World Series. Obviously a big part of it was what he achieved in the ring. Truly just one of the greatest, top 1% of boxers, greatest middleweight of all time.
I do believe that he will go down as one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He fought the best, and he delivered some of the most thrilling wins in boxing history.
Look at the tail of the tape for this super fight. Hagler and Leonard. 32-year-old Marvin Hagler came in.
There was something special about that Marvin Hagler to Sugar Ray Leonard fight. It was essentially to determine who was going to be the best middleweight, maybe of all time.
Let's see if he can do it. And here we go.
Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I'm biased. I'm looking through this with rose-colored glasses as a teenager at the time, and I thought that Hagler won the fight and that it was close but not necessarily all that controversial.
We have a split decision.
I'm willing to say, if you wanted to score that a draw, maybe it was a draw, but Marvin went to his grave saying that he won the Sugar Ray Leonard fight, and I'll say the same for him until I go to my grave as well.
And new middleweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray.
As a kid watching that fight, I thought Marvin Hagler won. I was there with my dad, I was there with my brothers, we were all watching the fight, and I remember being so upset as a kid that I was crying when they rendered the decision.
Marvin, I know you're incredibly disappointed. What's your feeling about the decision?
I beat him, and he knows it. Everybody knows. I knew it was too close. I told you about Vegas. They stole it.
Will you come back? Will there be more for you, Marvin?
He felt that he got jobbed in the Sugar Ray Leonard decision. He was like, I'm out. I still have all my faculties. He never believed he really legitimately lost. He has money in the bank. He walked away. That's such a rare thing. So it's sad to hear that he passed away, but still you just celebrate someone who is just such a rare person.
Getting news of the unfortunate passing of Hagler, you realize how important it is to establish a certain legacy. As a martial artist and as a fighter, we stand on the shoulders of giants and we learn from those that came before us.
If you're looking at Marvin Hagler's legacy, put him back in his time and think about what he meant to just one of the greatest generations of boxing history. You had Hagler, you had Duran, you had Thomas Hitman Hearns, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Those guys all raised each other to another level.
Marvin Hagler is one of those guys that if you were around that era or even close to that era and you were a boxing fan, you knew exactly who he was, how he fought, and what kind of heart he displayed when he fought. Learning from greats like Marvin Hagler was huge for me and also provided great inspiration throughout my career.